This year's inductees into the Graham County Hall of Fame begins with Seth Adams. Whether it was football, basketball, track and field, or baseball, Seth Adams made a splash whenever he stepped onto the field of competition. A member of the Robbinsville High School class of 1994, Adams mastered the 300-meter hurdles in track and won both the Smoky Mountain Conference and the 1A, 2A Western Regional Championship as a sophomore. During his junior year, Adams was a member of the 1992 football team that won the state championship, as well as the 1992-93 Black Knight basketball team, which claimed the conference title that season. He also repeated as a divisional and regional 300-meter hurdles champion. Adams was selected All-Conference and All-West North Carolina for his gridiron accomplishments in 1993, which saw Robbinsville win the league title once more. He also won conference and regional championships as part of the 4x100 and 4x200 relay teams, but finally threw the obstacle and captured the 1994 1A titles both in the 110 and 300-meter hurdles. Adams was the inaugural track and field state champion for Robbinsville. He went on to graduate from Western Carolina University with a degree in sports management in 2003, took over as the Macon County Parks and Recreation Director, a position he still holds today. Seth is married to Nikki Adams, and together the couple has two children, Grant, who is a junior at UNC Charlotte, and Shelby, a sophomore at Franklin High School. Adams also coaches as a member of the Franklin High School football staff, which will prevent him from attending the induction ceremony itself. His son, Grant, will accept the honor on his behalf. Our first inductee into the Graham County Hall of Fame, Mr. Seth Adams. Our second inductee into the Graham County Hall of Fame is Ronnie Waldroup. When the championship tradition of Black Knights football began, the late Ronnie Waldroup was right in the thick of success. A member of both the 1969 and 1970 state titles teams, Waldroup played a pivotal role in the Robbinsville magical 1969 season, particularly in the playoffs. The state semifinals pitted the Knights against St. Paul's, and when Dale Walsh went down due to injury, Waldroup muscled his way into the end zone for a go-ahead touchdown. Robbinsville won 33-26 to punch a ticket to the finals. Facing a tough Minio ensemble, the Knights found themselves tied 8-8 in the fourth quarter. Competing with two cracked ribs, Waldroup pushed his way across the goal line with 4:21 left in the game to seal Robbinsville's 14-8 win and the title town's first state championship. Waldroup rekindled the event once more in the 1970 semifinals, scoring the Black Knights' long touchdown in an 8-6 rally over North Duplin. Robbinsville went on to pick apart Saratoga 28-6 and repeat as the 1A state champions. He was voted All-Conference and the best offensive player during his senior year as well. Ronnie's two sons, Jared and Jerry, will be accepting their father's induction on his behalf and will wear his number 42 as a tribute. Both submitted their thoughts on the honor. Jared says, I visited Dad's football coach, the late Bob Colvin, a few years back, and he told me what a privilege it was to coach my dad. He said that he always gave it 110% every time his foot hit the field, and that my dad had a special place in his heart. Jeremy said, growing up, my father always modeled for me and my brother what it looks like to be a Christian man. Now that I'm older, I understand it was scripture lived out in the life of my dad, and it was because of my dad that I know who my father is. I look forward to the day that we will all be together again. Ronnie Waldroup, our second inductee into the Graham County Hall of Fame. Our third inductee into the Graham County Hall of Fame is Mr. Kaleb Williams. A dedicated five-sport athlete, Kaleb Williams was a natural in every sport he played. Williams graduated from Robbinsville in 2000 after 9 combined all-conference selections in football, basketball, baseball, golf, and track and field. He was also voted All-West North Carolina 7 times between 4 different sports and was an All-State football selection as a defensive back in 1999, as well as an All-State track and field in both 1999 and 2000. During his senior year, Williams had 13 interceptions, which tied a state record, and also tossed 12 touchdown passes for the Knights in the playoffs. 5 of those came in the second round of the postseason against East Surrey, which tied a school record for most touchdowns in a single game. The brotherhood I had with my teammates was unlike anything I'd ever experienced before, Williams said. I'm glad to say that it is a bond that I still cherish today. Later in his senior year, Williams connected for a pair of buzzer beaters in the same week to defeat Murphy and Swain County on the hardwood. He was also a member of the 2000 team that won the school's only conference golf championship to date. After high school, Williams attended Western Carolina University. He later returned to his hometown of Southern Republic at Robbinsville City Tire. Today, Williams is a supervisor of Bullitt County Parks and Recreation in Statesboro, Georgia. Kaleb Williams, our third inductee into the Graham County Hall of Fame.
It really has. But he couldn't have done it unless he lived here.
Our fourth inductee into the Graham County Hall of Fame is the 1992 Robbinsville High School football team. The 1992 Robbinsville Black Knights brought home the first state championship for the Shrewd program in 9 years and would also be the last football team to win it all for the next 22 years. The Knights rounded off 5 dominant wins to begin the season, including a 49-0 shutout at Telehill Plains, Tennessee, in which the Bears were limited to just 3 offensive yards. Following this, Robbinsville suffered a 30-24 setback against Hazel and turned in a lethargic first half against Swain County in the following weeks, netting just 8 yards in the first 2 quarters. With the Maroon Devils leading 21-0 at halftime, Robbinsville went in the locker room and threw out its strategy, completely switching its offense and catching the visitors off guard as a result. Behind 5 touchdown passes from Randy Jones, the Black Knights rallied to a 34-27 win. Robbinsville finished the regular season 8-2 and ran through the playoffs relatively unscathed, downing Indianville 35-21, Tar Heel 40-6, Henderson 14-6, and Rosman 35-3 to reach the 1A state title game against the Lakewood Leopards. The Black Knights set 3 state records that still stand today in the 35-0 blanking of Lakewood on December 12, 1992. Fewest total yards allowed in the championship game, 39. Fewest passing yards allowed, 0. And most touchdowns receptions, Randy Jones caught 3. Head coach Dale Smalling takes the Graham Summer after Robbinsville wrapped up the school's 13th state championship. I've had a lot of guys, former Robbinsville players, come up to me tonight as I was walking off the field and say, Coach, that's probably as good an example of a dominating football team as I have seen in quite some time, and it makes us feel good. The 1992 Robbinsville High School football team, state champions for the Black Knights. Finally, inductee into the Robbinsville or the Graham County Hall of Fame is the 2009 Robbinsville High School girls cross country team. Unfortunately, the 2009 Robbinsville High School girls cross country team is also being inducted tonight, but they're not able to be here. Some members were not able to be recognized tonight. This team will be recognized and presented their award at next year's induction ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, the Graham County Hall of Fame inductees. The 2009 Robbinsville High School girls cross country team, the 1992 Robbinsville High School football team, Mr. Kaleb Williams, Mr. Ronnie Waldroup, and Mr. Seth Adams.